Kia ora. Legionnaires, Rycon here, coming at you with a quick update video, hoping to cover a number of things in this one. We're going to go ahead and start off with the tabletop roleplays on the channel, Ritualcast and Zealand. Ritualcast is on a little bit of a break at the moment. We are still under some COVID restrictions here in New Zealand, so we're not going to be able to record for a little while. And with the last chapter, it felt like a good resting point for the series, but as soon as we can, we are going to have that back. Unfortunately, we don't have a date or an idea at this stage, but I'm hoping it'll be back sometime this month. While on the topic of Ritualcast, Mara has been absent from the show for a little while. Originally, Mara's player Triton wanted Mara to have a little bit of a break from the crew, but unfortunately Triton has recently moved to the other side of the city from where we are at the moment. And unfortunately, due to distance and time constrictions, he won't be able to make the times when we're recording. So unfortunately for now, Mara is still out there somewhere in Halaja. We don't know where, but we hope to see her and Triton again in the future. Now onto Zealand. We're currently in between our seasons, and like Ritualcast, due to COVID restrictions, we haven't been able to record the next season. And here's the thing, the next season isn't going to be season 5, season 5, I think we're up to 5. No, it's not going to be season 5, rather it's going to be campaign 2. What exactly does that mean? Well, because so much time will be advancing in between these two seasons, I've decided that Terra Mortis, this new era in Zealand, will be a new campaign. The story is still continuing on from where we left off. This second campaign will be the perfect jumping on point for anyone interested in Zealand or post-apocalyptic table RPG role-playing in general. I know, I just said role-playing twice. That too, if all things go well, will be back on the channel before the end of the year. Now onto the regularly scheduled content. Those of you who follow me on social media or have posts enabled on YouTube will have seen recently I made an announcement about Kenshi shifting into the kind of Friday slot to sit alongside Logan's Tale and Ashes. And the reason being, this Kenshi roleplay is intense to make. The recording times are generally around about 6 hours, and then the editing time on top of that is roughly about the same. And so because it is one of the more difficult to produce shows, it's going into the kind of cinematic roleplay slot that I have on Fridays, or Saturdays, depending on where you are in the world. Now, last Friday was meant to be Kenshi. I am still working on it currently at the moment, so I'm hoping that will be out tomorrow as of the release of this video. So do stay tuned on that front, but ideally we're gonna have it cycling each week. So 1 week we're gonna have Logan, next we're gonna have Kenshi, following that Ashes, and then we're back at the start again. And it kind of just continues to cycle through like that. With the idea being that that Friday is gonna be when those cinematic roleplays are releasing. On to the latest show, Fallout 76, that has just graced the channel recently. I'm gonna be trying to keep up the every other day release as long as I can. And that's kind of how I want to do things going forwards when it comes to releasing these new shows. And going off that, thinking about that, series that I have like RimWorld, for example, I would like to try and do those in the future every second day. With the episodes being slightly shorter, more heavily edited, and with more of a solid concept to begin with. Lord of the Rings has been super fun to play through, but the series has gone on for a while. And so I would like in the future to have a little bit more of a solid goal going into a series, rather than just try and play it out and see how long we can survive for. Because then things just kind of trail on for too long, and we can all start to lose interest. So the next show that I do in RimWorld will be a bit snappier, still focusing on the overall story. And that's gonna apply to Cataclysm as well. We are always going to have Dusk as our long-term character, our character that we're just gonna play until she's not around anymore. But I hope that is very, very far away. I really do want to try and see how far we can push a single character in Cataclysm. But then we do have Luna. With Luna, I would like us to have more of a goal, a direction, a point that we're moving to, rather than just survive for a long time and wait until something bad happens. So over the next week, I'm kind of going to be pondering as to what that goal might be, and then Luna's episodes will come out a little bit faster. Again, they'll be shorter, probably sticking around about the half an hour mark, but you can expect those every second day. I know it's mixing things up and it might make the schedule a little hard to follow, but I feel like after we have gotten through the first week of it, myself and you will have a much better idea of how things will run in the future. The final announcement that I have is kind of an end of an era. We haven't had one for a long while now, but we're not going to be having town halls at the end of the month anymore. before. I really do love them. I love seeing all of you, but finding the time to sit down and organize them as of late has been increasingly difficult. That isn't to say we won't hang out. I still want to do more live streams, and I think that'll be a really neat medium in which we can do that. For patrons though, at the end / the start of every month, we are still going to be having a hangout. The medium of that hangout may change over time, but I will be posting information about that on Patreon. So that is going to wrap us up for today's update video. I hope that I haven't forgotten anything. It's always the way when you think of calling someone, you remember what you were actually going to talk to them about the second that you hang up. No, I think we're good. Oh, that was it. I remember now. Leonidas. Yes, it is a question that I still see pop up every now and then, and I know there is this kind of misconception that the series is just gone, I'm done with it, I'm not coming back to it. That certainly is not the case. What I have stated in the past in a few different announcements, and I'll state again here, hopefully so that it can kind of spread out a little bit more, I am currently waiting for a massive overhaul mod. I've been waiting for a while here. It is the crucial piece in the final part of Leon's story. Without it, we're kind of just treading ground that we've tread before. And so I am still salivating and hoping to get my hands on it as soon as possible. However, with modding, we don't know when that's gonna be. So keep that flicker of hope, that flame alight. Leonidas is not done yet. And in the absolute worst case scenario, if for some reason this whole mod project just went down the gutter, I would still find a way to give a proper conclusion to his tale. And so, with that, I believe that's everything. So I would like to thank you all for joining me today. For now, I have been Rycon. You have all been awesome. And until next time, stay tuned.